Hey, what's up guys? Do you know that feeling that you're trying to play something on guitar and you're imagining something but you can't really articulate it? Maybe it's a scale or a musical idea, but sometimes there are technical things that are in the way to make the music that we hear. What I want to talk about today it's basically 7 exercises that really helped me get a really good practice routine, and I've been doing these exercises in different variations for quite some time, and I do believe that they're super helpful. So I want to share them with you guys to kind of give you some shortcuts and find ways to just connect the ideas to the music. Before we start, I just want to say that these are ideas and concepts that are great to embed within the practice routine. Again, just a couple of minutes a day with one of these exercises will help a lot. And it takes a little bit of time to feel the progress. Probably about 2 weeks or so, you start feeling kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. But give it a couple of weeks where you practice it for 5 to 10 minutes a day. Morning is great, but you can do also evening. All right, let's do it. There's also a PDF on Patreon with all this information notated with tabs, etc. Check it out. 1. Left hand strength. So this is a really simple exercise that my fiancée just hates. She hates it.
I don't hate it. It's just like, it's this exercise that you would practice like 30 minutes in a row. Like
no, it's just 5 minutes a day. I never do it longer. Feels like half an hour.
Yeah, it just feels like eternity.
Well, you heard it. I like doing that a lot because I think it's great. And I think the person who showed me that a while ago was Paul Bone, like an amazing guitar player. You also check him out, it's really great. The idea is very simple. I'm playing the note F and I'm bending the note F sharp, but I'm gonna push the string down. So it's sort of like going to the gym for your fingers, because it's just really hard actually. Really trying to bend the string. And if you're playing with heavier string like 12, 13, etc., you'll feel the pain. And I'll just go on forward, try to really bend it so you really feel that burn. And I oftentimes do this exercise in time, like so. Try to bend. Up. After I do the first and second finger, I'll do first and third. Just ascending, descending, 1 and 4. And then I'll do 2 and 3, 2 and 4, and then I'll do 3 and 4. The same thing, up and down, just ascending, descending. The idea is just really trying to get these muscles much stronger and more accurate. 2. Chromatic scale on 1 string. So it's awesome to see shapes on guitar, but sometimes I feel like we kind of neglect the idea that you can play melodies, scales on 1 string. And by seeing the chromatic scale, I feel like we kind of unlock some of that magic thing that is the 1 string guitar. So what I would do is literally take the E string and play chromatic scale. And after I do that, I'll go to the A string, D string, G string, each one of the strings. But when I'm playing that, I'm thinking of the notes. So I'm aware this is E and this is F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, etc. And I'm also thinking of where I'm switching to the next position basically. So I usually do 4 or 5 notes, 2, 3, 4, slide, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So basically kind of trying to find a few solutions to slide on 1 string, playing the chromatic scale, and of course playing it in time is always fun. 3. Doubles. So when we're playing ideas and music, I feel like sometimes like being able, basically playing doubles, playing the same note twice, is kind of an expressive thing. You can play it with a major scale, with a pentatonic scale. there's something very, very expressive about that idea. So something that I like doing is just taking a scale, literally, we're gonna take C major scale in time and playing it in doubles. And really trying to be aware of the accuracy of my playing. So like really trying to be as balanced as I can. And sometimes I'll try to create a little crescendo or a little sort of like kind of target point, if you will, to this note. So it's like go down a little bit on the last note or hit it stronger. And that kind of notion, this kind of targeting is really helpful, because I think when we're playing musical ideas, feeling that is really, really strong. Let's try it one more time with the click. So what I was doing here is, again, playing C major scale, just doubles, each note being played twice. And I was thinking about that dynamic thing and that kind of like feeling that I'm going somewhere. So from C to the high C, 2 octaves, just with doubles. And of course it can be used in different melodies. Try it. 4. Center and sounds. So I think one of the things that we oftentimes forget is when we're practicing music and guitar, we just kind of think about the technical stuff, which is of course important, but some of the technical stuff is actually ear and trying to connect it to our ears and feeling. So I'll try to take a note, for example, G. So and I'll play just G major scale kind of slowly, and I'll feel how each note feels and sounds against the center. So I'll kind of say to myself, so this is the 1, La, this is 2, this is how it feels against the center, B, this is the 3rd, the major 3rd is how it feels, C, and sometimes I'll sing the note, like the other notes, so, La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, and sometimes I'll just sing the center, so. Both are great as long as we're aware of the center and the sound. So when you're practicing a scale, the idea here is just kind of memorizing the soundscape and how it feels, really. 5. Same notes. One of the challenges with guitar and music is to see the logic, specifically with guitar, because you have the same note in the same octave in quite a few places, which is very different than our friend the piano, which is a little bit more logical, at least on a visual perspective. So something that I do like doing is taking a note, for example C, and trying to find all the C's. Do, and the idea is that within the process D, I'll basically map out the guitar. I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, where are the notes located, and then, you know, I'm just memorizing slowly but surely where things are on the guitar. Oh, E, okay, we have this open E, you know, all these options to play the note. And the thing is, when we're playing solos, when we're transcribing, when we're playing chords, and we understand what is it we're playing, we can always add a note, and because we know where they are, it's easier. So this is kind of a process of tagging and really visually seeing it on the guitar. 6. Chromatic scale. I know we spoke about it earlier on 1 string, but this is a different one. And this exercise is more almost for the right hand. So here what we're gonna do is start from this A, and I think I spoke about this exercise a while ago, but I think it's such a great one. I wanna kinda talk about it again. So basically I'm playing chromatic scale from A to A. And then I'm gonna kind of ascend chromatic scale. So I'm starting here. Now let's see exactly what's happening here, slowly but surely. So starting from this A, 1, 2, 3, 4. and then from C sharp 1, 2, 3, 4, then going to the E string 1, 2, 3, 4, slide. Then from this A, I'm gonna descend 1, 2, 3, 4, shift string to the B string here from 6th fret to the 3rd, and then I'm hitting B flat. And when I hit B flat, I restart the scale, so the same thing. So it would sound like this: 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, what's interesting about this exercise, this is kind of technical, but the right hand. So what's happening here is really, really interesting because it's a little bit of a different technique than the kind of usual alternate picking because it's getting faster. Check it out. Okay. What I like about this exercise is really thinking about the right hand, trying to be loose and trying to kind of play fast. Even if I just take one octave, C to C. So basically, I'm really trying to be aware of the tension here, trying to be as loose as I can, but still articulate. And it's a different almost technique than the usual alternate picking, because when you're playing slow, playing a scale or chromatic scale, there's maybe bigger motions. But when I'm doing this scale right now, the chromatic scale, I have very little time, so there's this kind of urgency. That I really appreciate, and I think by learning and by working on this chromatic scale, we learn a lot about the right hand. So check it out. 7, open strings. So I talked about it before, I feel, but I think with guitar, one of the challenges is really syncing the right and left hand. So I will do some open strings. Sometimes I'll just play open strings, and sometimes I'll play a bar chord, which is kind of the same thing, but basically dividing the action into 2 motions where I'm preparing the pick on the string and then playing it and trying to let my brain the time to process where the string is, so it's always basically ready to play. And then I'll do all downstrokes, all upstrokes from the E string up, the same thing, and then alternate picking, basically down, up, or up, down. And then I'll start doing variations on that. For example, skipping a string. And you can do whatever you want. It's just different permutations. And the idea is just basically exploring exclusively this idea of the right hand versus information on the left hand. Because sometimes we have sort of high expectations for the left hand to succeed doing all these, complex ideas, but if we're not practicing the right hand that is picking it, how can we expect that everything will kind of lock in? So this is a really sort of a locking in exercise. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this was interesting and helpful. If it is, please share with a friend. If not, please let me know what is not interesting about it. I'll see you guys very soon.